This is not just a 1977 Washington quarter. It is a tiny silver and copper time capsule that tells a story about America's economy, its minting secrets, and the collectors who would do anything to find the rarest hidden gems among billions of coins. The story of the 1977 Washington quarter begins in the late 70s, a time when the United States was recovering from economic shifts, political uncertainty, and rising inflation. The Washington quarter itself was first introduced in 1932 as a commemorative coin honoring the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. What started as a single-year design became one of the most enduring and iconic coin series in American numismatics. Now, by 1977, the Washington quarter had already seen decades of circulation, and collectors had developed a keen eye for subtle variations in its design. Mintage errors and mint marks. The 1977 issue was no exception. While millions were struck at the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, collectors today hunt for rare versions that feature minting anomalies or unusually high-quality strikes. The obverse still carried the familiar bust of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, whose work had become a symbol of American coinage stability. The reverse displayed the proud heraldic eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, a reminder of the nation's balance between readiness and peace. When you hold a 1977 quarter, you hold a coin that survived the pockets of a changing nation. The late 70s marked a transition period in American currency. No longer were quarters struck in 90% silver. Instead, they were made of a copper core clad in nickel, a cost-saving measure that began in the mid-60s as the price of silver skyrocketed by 1977. This clad composition was firmly entrenched, but it also opened doors to new kinds of mint errors. The clad layers sometimes failed to bond properly, resulting in dramatic mint mistakes that command high prices among collectors. Today, imagine a freshly struck 1977 quarter, leaving the press in the bustling halls of the Philadelphia Mint, where no mint mark was used that year, or the Denver Mint, which proudly stamped its coins with a small D below Washington's ponytail. Millions of coins poured out daily, handled by mint workers who monitored for striking issues, but errors inevitably slipped through. Some quarters were struck off-center, creating crescents of missing metal. Others bore double dies where the design appears doubled, adding a ghostly shadow that can make a single coin worth hundreds, even thousands, to a dedicated collector. The history of the 1977 Washington quarter also intersects with the story of the American economy. At the time, gas prices were fluctuating. The Cold War loomed in the background, and Americans carried these coins in their wallets to buy a gallon of gas, a candy bar, or a newspaper coin. Operated machines still ruled daily life: vending machines, payphones, and laundromats, all hungry for quarters, so it is no wonder that finding a 1977 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition today is a challenge. Yet such coins do exist, tucked away in bankrolls, coin jars, or forgotten drawers. The finest examples, graded MS-65, MS-66, or higher, are the crown jewels for those who cherish this series beyond circulation strikes. There are also proof versions, but for the 1977 quarter, these proofs were struck at the San Francisco Mint. They bear the S Mint mark, and were specially made for collectors with extra care given to striking and polishing the dies. These proof coins are admired for their mirror-like fields and frosted devices. They never saw circulation. Instead, they were carefully packaged and sold to collectors who hoped they might gain value over time for the numismatist. Every detail of a 1977 Washington quarter tells a story. The thickness of the rim, the sharpness of Washington's hair curls the clarity of the motto "In God We Trust." And the date itself, all of these features must be studied with magnification to spot signs of doubling die wear or repunched mint marks. Although the latter is less common for this year, entire books and catalogs have been dedicated to listing known varieties of Washington quarters, and the 1977 issue is a worthy chapter in that saga. Many collectors still debate the true rarity of certain varieties since new discoveries surface at estate sales, garage sales, or in inherited coin collections. What makes the Washington Quarter series so fascinating is its accessibility. Anyone can start collecting with pocket change, yet the hunt for the elusive mint errors and high-grade specimens transforms a simple hobby into a lifelong treasure hunt. Consider the journey of a single 1977 quarter. It may have been struck in Philadelphia on a cold January morning, rattling down conveyor belts bagged and shipped to Federal Reserve banks from there. It could have ended up in the register of a downtown diner used to pay for a cup of coffee, then given as change to a young student who kept it in a jean pocket all day over decades. That coin would pass through thousands of hands, absorbing the oil, dirt, and history of each owner. The Washington quarter also connects generations. Many collectors recall how they learned to search coins with their parents or grandparents, using simple magnifying glasses and well-worn guidebooks. By the time the internet age arrived, collectors could share high-resolution images of their finds, discuss subtle varieties in online forums, and trade or sell coins worldwide. But the allure of the hunt remains unchanged. The 1977 Washington quarter continues to circulate in surprising numbers, yet many have been lost to time, thrown away, or melted, for scrap-clad coins have little intrinsic metal value, but their worth lies in rarity, condition, and the human stories. Attached to each piece, some quarters might even carry traces of post-mint damage like scratches, gouges, or signs of being used in jewelry settings. Yet it is the coins that remain closest to mint state that command the highest prices at auction. Dealers often submit their best examples to grading services like PCGs or NGC, hoping for a high grade that adds significant market value. It is not unusual for a flawless 1977 quarter to fetch hundreds of dollars, especially if it boasts an unusual error like a broad strike or off-center strike. Serious collectors seek these coins because they combine historical context with minting craftsmanship and the thrill of rarity. There is also the allure of the full-step detail on the Jefferson nickel. A similar concept exists for Washington quarters, where sharp detail in Washington's hair curls and the eagle feathers is highly prized. So how do you find a valuable 1977 quarter? It starts with knowledge. Patience and an eye for the unexpected. Everyday pocket change can hide treasures, but the true gems are often uncovered in original bankrolls or old coin collections passed down through families. Each coin must be carefully weighed, measured, and inspected under good lighting to detect errors or varieties that the untrained eye might miss over time. You build an instinct for spotting a double die, a rotated die, or a plancher flaw. You also develop respect for the minting process itself, the powerful presses that strike coins at incredible speed, the dies that must be aligned with microscopic precision, and the quality control measures that even today cannot catch every mistake. The 1977 Washington quarter reminds us that even in an age of mass production, small imperfections become valuable rarities. The story of this coin series is not just about metal and design, it is about the people who collect them, the communities that form around them, and the thrill of the hunt that keeps coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces buzzing with excitement. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, the next time you receive a quarter in your change, take a closer look for that small date that says 1977 for the tiny D mint mark, or the lack of one for a subtle doubling in the letters, or a rim that looks just a bit off-center. That ordinary coin could be an extraordinary find waiting to be discovered. And so the legend of the 1977 Washington quarter lives on, in drawers, jars, albums, and auction blocks across America and the world. A symbol of a time when coins were more than just currency. They were miniature storytellers capturing the era they were born in, and whispering secrets to those who know how to listen.